Welcome. Hello, hello. It is our mini masterclass Thursday, this being the second Thursday of June. And I was actually thinking, it seems like a really long time since we've done this, but then I realized we only did one in May because we had some complications with scheduling. So it has been sort of a long time since we were all together. So thank you for joining us once again. I am Sam, and we are going to do today's topic on converting from QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online. Ding, 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 ding. There's a little bit of controversy in the accounting world about this, and even business owners who have been using desktop for years and know exactly what they're doing have all gotten a notice. It's officially true that Intuit is phasing away from desktop. It's been a rumor for years. I mean, years. Our firm was an early adopter of the technology and the online platform, and we actually moved our clients to the cloud in 18, officially, like no more desktop. So we've been living in this world for quite some time, but I know that there are lots and lots of accounting professionals and business owners who have been using desktop since dinosaurs roamed the earth and are terrified of change. Nobody really usually loves change unless it's like I won the lotto and all my problems are solved. Change, but usually actually that brings new problems anyway. So I understand that, but I wanted to go through with everyone, accounting professional or a business owner, the difference in converting from desktop to online, what your experience will be, what you can expect out of the platform, how it works, what your timeline is, all of those little nuances so that you're fully informed and you don't need to panic. Now, that being said, because change is not always easy, I highly suggest, if you are either an accounting professional or a business owner that is moving off of desktop and you haven't spent a lot of time in online, that you educate yourself. It is a completely different interface. I'll just say that out loud, full transparency. It's going to look different. It's different. It's not a software that's downloaded on your computer. It is completely mobile. It does look different. However, Intuit's heard that feedback so much that they actually created what they're calling the desktop app, that when you go online, you can download the desktop app, which makes your online version of QuickBooks look just like the desktop version of QuickBooks. So if you're one of those that aesthetically things stump you because you just used to click here and now you can't click there anymore, you could probably still click there with the desktop app. So that's one thing you need to know. They do have a solve for the aesthetic differences. Functionality wise, I have to say that since we've converted to fully online, so 18, we'll call it 18, I have not once had a customer that wasn't able to run their business on QuickBooks Online versus on desktop after they converted. Not once. That means that the online version was capable of doing everything that business needed it to do. It may have meant learning a new workflow. It may have meant clicking new buttons. It may have meant memorizing a different report. It may have meant some of those things, but it has never meant, for me personally, and this could not be true for everyone, but for me personally, it has never meant that a business was better suited on desktop. They were just fine in online. So one of the reasons I created my consulting company, which I did in 2021, was because of this exact thing. People just need the education around using the software. They don't know the differences, the nuances. They don't take the time to train themselves or seek professional guidance. And when you call support, I'm sure you've had this experience if you've been with QuickBooks a while, it's not always supportive, right? So we created our consulting company in 2021 strictly around QuickBooks Online education and training. So if you need that, I highly recommend, whether it's us or others, there are many others out there that do this, that you educate yourself before you have to do this. Now, I'll just talk about timelines. As of July of this year, so next month, Intuit will no longer sell new versions. So remember, or new subscriptions, remember those terms, of desktop. You will not be able to upgrade to the latest version because that's considered a new version. And you will not be able to purchase for the first time any desktop software except, oh God, I just said almost elite, but that's not even it. Enterprise. I knew I had the word. Enterprise is the exception. They are not going to discontinue Enterprise. They are going to still let you continue using, they will continue supporting, and you can continue purchasing and upgrading Enterprise. That being said, I have very, very rarely found a business that truly needed to be an enterprise. Most of the time, what I have found is it had some functionality that was upgraded. They moved off of a different platform. They got into enterprise, and they're taking nowhere near the advantage they could be of the capabilities of that software, which has usually meant that we have been able to downgrade from enterprise into a lower version of desktop. If that's in fact true for you, you should consider moving off of enterprise, which is much more expensive, and moving into the appropriate online version for your business. Now that you're not going to know off the top of your head, you're going to need to seek some sort of consultation or something with a professional who is going to be able to determine that for you. If you're an accounting professional and you're working with clients that are in enterprise, you just need to know that you could probably downgrade them and then assign them over to the online when that time comes. Now, to save them some money, lots of money actually. So unless you're in enterprise, QuickBooks Online will no longer be available for purchase as of July. What that means though is if you're already in a desktop file, already active, you've been using it forever, you're in the most recent version, so the 2024 version, you still have 3 years that Intuit will continue to support the software for you. So it's not like once new versions are no longer being sold that the existing versions are going to stop working. What you will have is 3 years of time to get yourself prepared for the inevitable where the software will not work any longer. Meaning downloads, payroll processing, transmitting information, and support, customer support from Intuit. As we all know, probably in desktop, you can manual data enter forever. Once it's on your computer, it doesn't go away unless your computer goes away, right? So you can continue putting in numbers. What you won't be able to do past that 3-year mark is anything that requires transmissions, because that's what makes it a live file. Intuit will no longer support you from a customer service standpoint, will no longer be able to help you solve any kind of technical errors, data corruption, anything like that they do now, and will then at least then tell you you have to convert to online in order to get any support and any functionality other than manual data entry. The entire point of having some sort of accounting software is that you don't have to do manual data entry. I almost said damn data entry, and that's probably even better than manual data entry. That damn stuff. You don't want to do it. So you should put yourself in a position to use the tools that are designed to help you not have to do that. So you have 3 years if you're in desktop in the latest version. So if you're in 23, you have until 26. If you're in 24, you have until 27. If you're in 22, you have until next year. So that means you only have 1 year left. So my suggestion is make sure you upgrade to the most recent version if you are not interested in converting at this time, so that you have 3 more years, which is going to be your maximum of support. If you are and you have been curious about converting and you're coming up on that timeline where you no longer have support from Intuit, let's say you're in the 23 version or 22 version, so you are going to have support for 1 to 2 more years. This is the perfect opportunity for you to be proactive in educating yourself, getting your team education, and or if you're an accounting professional, educating yourself on how you can help your clients do these conversions. They're actually very simple. Intuit has done a beautiful job knowing that this is coming in preparing for a easy transition from desktop to online, meaning your information can literally go in a matter of an hour or more, two maybe, depending on how large your file is, can literally go from here to here. You feel almost no difference. Now, that being said, there are differences that are just going to be organic to the conversion. Some things don't convert exactly. Some things convert slightly differently. Some things will you'll have to rebuild because the memorization or the customization of that thing doesn't come over. But all of the financial data, all of the balances, all of the transactional information comes over beautifully. We've done many, many, many conversions throughout the years, and well before they have updated and made it such a smooth experience now. I do highly recommend that you engage an accounting professional who understands the conversion process if you're a business owner and you're just flying by the seat of your pants, because it's technology, it's software, things can happen, things can go awry. An accounting professional is going to know the little nuances to look for and be aware of and ask the questions and download the right reports and do the cross checks and all of that, because you really should make sure that before you do this, you don't just jump in willy-nilly, that you're going through the specifics of making sure you have your correct balances, making sure everything's reconciled, downloading current so that you have something to tie back to make sure things came over right. There's definitely steps you want to take to ensuring that this happens correctly. Okay, so we're talking about bringing in current information. This is also a great opportunity if your books are a mess. And it just happens. It's normal. I see it every single day that a business's books are a mess. They haven't kept up their bookkeeping over time. They've had multiple people doing it and they've all done it differently. They did it only a little bit here and there, but never really reconciled, didn't actually balance. Like, there's so many ways that you could say and know that your books are a mess. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's totally normal, actually. Doesn't help you, but it's normal. So if that's the case and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to bring all that crap over, because crap in, crap out, right? This is the perfect opportunity for you to take this conversion as a fresh start. So you are able to convert just your lists. So your chart of accounts, your customer list, your vendor list, your products and service lists, your report list, you're able to bring over just that. So you don't have to do data entry to reinvent the wheel on your lists, but you also don't have to bring over erroneous, no good information that's never going to help you moving forward. This is a perfect opportunity to use this as a sort of a cleanup tool so you can start fresh in your business. You could start fresh as effective this year, January 1 of 24. You can start fresh. I would definitely do a year start like January, or you can even do all of 23. I'm still getting calls from people who are asking me if I can help them clean up 22 and 23. Somebody just had a 2020 cleanup for me. It happens. And this is the perfect opportunity to learn, get all the data in the new system without bringing in old crap balances. So that's another possibility with this new system upgrade that we're getting. Now I want to talk about the differences. There are differences. And like I said earlier, do yourself a favor, invest in education for yourself or your team or your team. I'll just say with any change, any software implementation, whether it's a CRM, whether it's accounting software, whether it's an invoicing software, whether it's a design software, you should always have knowledge of the after implementation of what you're supposed to see and know on the software. This is no different, right? And your whole team, if you have multiple team members that are handling different aspects of your business, you want them to know too, so that they're not creating more messes for lack of education. So a couple of the things that are going to be definitely different is the payroll platform. You would think if you're using Intuit Payroll and Desktop, you would think simply payroll comes over and it's all the same. It is not. It is a clean slate. It is a different processing platform. You have to re-enter all of the data. You have to bring in historical history so that the QBO, QuickBooks Online, full service payroll can start running the payroll for you versus the assisted or enhanced payroll platform that's running it in Desktop. Also in Desktop, you have the option of enhanced or assisted. Enhanced is like they calculate everything for you, but you still have to go in and pull the trigger on paying the taxes and filing the reports. Why anybody would pick that is beyond me, because it requires so much more of your time and diligence. QuickBooks doesn't have that offer. They only have full service. So when you switch over to QuickBooks, it actually lifts so much responsibility off of your plate when running payroll, because it's going to do all of that for you organically. You don't have to pick that feature. It's all full service. There are three different levels of support and 3 different levels of add-on services to payroll that you can choose from, but full service is across the board, meaning they pay and file your taxes for you. So that, I think, is a huge win for QuickBooks Online. But that's one thing you need to know, because some people are in set it and forget it mode. Once the information's over there, they think, oh, it's done. It's an Intuit product to an Intuit product. It should work. It doesn't. You have to start from scratch. So don't put yourself in a pickle where you're on a payroll deadline and you haven't done this in time to meet the appropriate payday deadlines. The other thing that doesn't come over is your banking connections. You're going to have to reconnect all of your banking to QuickBooks Online, even if it's already connected in Desktop. All of the historical transaction information is going to come over for you. So you're going to have everything in online that you have already in Desktop, but anything that requires a connection, like your banking, will need to be reconnected. That being said, they have now solved for merchant services where you can just simply turn on your existing merchant service in QuickBooks Online after you convert from Desktop. So that's one thing that you don't have to apply for or reconnect. You can just simply turn back on in the new platform. So that was a huge win. There's a lot of things and features that are in QuickBooks Online that Desktop doesn't have that can really be great for your business, that you may not even know exist and that you can take advantage of. And I'd love to share some of those with you. Some of our biggest pluses are the QuickBooks checking account. So QuickBooks Online offers a free checking account that also then makes it available for you to have instant deposit on your receivables. So if you're a business that's sending out invoices and you are having maybe some cash flow challenges, and the quicker you get the money, the better, QuickBooks Online allows you to get instant deposit. And I am telling you, because I use it, when I say instant, I mean within 90 seconds of my customer pushing pay now, I have access to that money. Rather than waiting for an ACH deposit or a credit card deposit, I can spend that money within 90 seconds of them paying their bill. That is only available if you have the QuickBooks Online checking account. So it's a huge win for customers with cash flow challenges. That checking account, that same one, is currently yielding a 5% interest rate, which means you can use it as a reserve account that separates your money from all of the other operational accounts you may have going on. And you're actually going to make some ding-dong interest. Because even though inflation is so high, interest rates have not gone to 12% or something like that in our savings accounts. Even CDs, I'm seeing a high CD saying, 4.75, 4.84. It's still not even 5% in a CD, which is locked in. This is completely liquid, no minimums to open, no minimums to keep, no fees per month to have. So it's a great benefit. QuickBooks Desktop does not have this product. QuickBooks Online does. You can use it for so many things. It offers what they call envelopes, depending on if you're a tomato or a tomato person. It has envelopes so that you can separate your money without physically having to open up multiple bank accounts at a traditional bank. You could put money aside for payroll. You could put money aside for personal expenses. Like owner's draws. You could put money aside for an operating account, for a subcontractor account. You can separate all your money within one account without having to open multiple accounts. Think of, if you're familiar with the profit first mentality, that's exactly what I'm talking about here as well. I use it. For example, our firm uses it because we have an annual conference that the entire team goes to. I have to budget for that conference because it's a very large out-of-pocket expense. So the chances of me being able to just whip out my debit card and pay for all of us to go at one time, very minimal. So I've created a budget for it and now an envelope for it, or an envelope for it. And every pay period, I know how much I have to put aside for this conference. It's beautiful. I haven't felt the dent at all because I'm doing it little by little by little. It's wonderful. I also have it for a reserve so that not all of our cash is in our operating account, because things happen. Debit cards get stolen, fraud happens. And if I had all my money exposed in one account, then it's higher chances it's going to really affect me if I have to pay a bill or something. So I put our reserve cash in an envelope, and I'm earning 5% on it. It's wonderful. I love it. If you take deposits on clients, you could create a different envelope for every single one of your clients without having to open multiple accounts. So I think you get the point now. I'll move away from that. Huge benefit to moving to online over desktop. I already said about the payroll is full service. So I think that's also a win for online. There are all kinds of apps that connect to the online platform that either don't connect great or don't connect at all to desktop. Intuit has spent a lot of time and resources on making sure that the online ecosystem is very comprehensive, which means you could possibly eliminate or start to eliminate entire, systems or scopes of work, because you can institute an app that's made to do just that. Time tracking is now built into the QuickBooks Online full service payroll. So you're able to not have to have a separate time tracking system. So that's another perk. But really, if you're able to, and you can have a consultation with someone that is an expert in this, you can institute apps that will help save you tons of time. Payroll dollars equal money, right? So you're going to pay somebody 8 hours to do a job, or you can pay an app $40 a month to do the same job, 8 hours a day or a week or whatever the scope is, versus paying for the app. Then those same people can be turned into, that might be doing something administrative, could be turned into revenue generating positions. They can go out and find you more business. You could have capacity to take on more business because of the you're able to rely more on technology. It's incredible what you can do with some of the technologies out there that are available that sync with QuickBooks Online. I know we do a lot of project management and contractor accounting, and one of the biggest challenges we see is with job costing in labor. QuickBooks Online Payroll does a beautiful job of helping with labor job costing without having to do journal entries and all kinds of other manual ways to get it in the system. It does have job costing as well. So does desktop. So that's not different. It's just the same across the board. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of some other really cool ones. There's so many. Like I said, we were an early adopter of online. I saw immediately the incredible value of not having to be stalled by extra servers and VPNs and remote logins. Working with your accounting professional and your team is so much easier in online, which was really the main reason why we started, because I was like, there's no way I can help all the people that I need to help or could help on desktop. It's just, it doesn't allow for the transparent communication. It doesn't allow for real-time help. It doesn't allow me to be working at odd hours because I needed to get someone's help to get into their remote login. It just wasn't a good workflow for our firm. So when I say that, if you've never experienced being able to work simultaneous with somebody because you always have to send an accountant copy and wait for a download and a password and then an upload and then the resend and then the link up, it sucks. It sucks on both ends. It sucks for the end user that's trying to get something done that can't also enter data at the same time because it's not going to get connected right. And it sucks for the accountant that has to go through this process just to do their job. So QuickBooks Online was designed specifically to be able to work in real time with everybody and anybody who needs to be in your books. Now, that being said, make sure you give every single person that's going to be working with you and for you their own login. If it's an accounting professional, there's an actual accountant invite that you will send them, not a company admin, not a standard user, accountant invite. If it is anybody else, if it's an internal person, if it's a partner, if it's a board, they can all have their own logins. That is very important because a lot of companies have been used to QuickBooks desktop is sitting on a desktop somewhere and they just all use the same login and they just all go in and do their things. You do not want to do that. You didn't want to do that then, and you certainly don't want to do it now because it's impossible then to track back and see who's doing what when. QuickBooks Online offers a full audit log that will record every single second of time that's spent in your books, and you're able to see who logged in, what they did, what they changed, what they updated, what they added, what they deleted, everything. That just means then if you're using the same login for everybody, it's going to look like one person did it all. I've had twice now where two customers have been audited completely random. They didn't do anything wrong per se. It was a random audit. One of the first things that the auditors asked for was the audit log from QuickBooks Online. In both of those cases, they had been using the same login for everybody. They did not take the chance or the opportunity to give everybody different logins. And guess what? All the things that were found were pinned back on the business owner because there was zero proof that they weren't the one who actually made the mistake, made the transfer, did the thing, whatever the case was. So you really want to make sure you're protecting yourself as the business owner, but you're also able then to kick somebody out the second you want them out of your books instead of having to redo all of your passwords and all of your logins. And also in the audit log, it will show exactly who's doing what. This could be used to capture fraud. This could be used for training opportunities, seeing if somebody's doing something wrong. This could be used for like, oh man, I just deleted something. I can't remember what I deleted. I don't know. Remember how much that was for. I need to recreate it, but I can't remember. Go to the audit log and you'll be able to see step by step what you undid and then redo it. So it can actually be a helpful tool for you as well, just on a workflow basis. It helps with reconciliation discrepancies. It helps with so many things to have that. So there are many, many perks. I'll address pricing. Excuse me. Yes, you do have to pay a subscription for every single file you have in QuickBooks Online. That's one of the huge reasons people have not converted in the past, is that they didn't want to go from having 100 files on desktop for one price that they have to renew every 3 years to having all these subscription prices in QuickBooks Online. So if that describes you, then it's still going to be true, which might mean you're going to wait that full 3 years to convert if you're in 2024 by July. But there is a multi-company discount offer from Intuit that you need to be aware of, which means that you can bring over, what it means is you have to bring over all of your files at one time. So you can't add and stack and some now and some later to get this pricing. They all have to be converted at one time, but you will pay retail for the first account, and then every account thereafter is a $20 flat fee for 2 years. So this is a 2-year bundle deal, discount, however you want to call it or think about it. It's all of that actually. But it does give you a little bit of financial relief on over having to pay retail for every single one. There is a process to doing this. This is not something you can just go on the www.qbo.com website and do. There is a form we need to fill out. We need to submit it to Intuit. They create what they call the shell companies, all of them, and assign the appropriate pricing discount to each of them. So on the back end, you're only charged the appropriate amount. So if you need to convert or want to convert from desktop to online, but you have multiple companies, there is a discount program available. Just reach out. We can help sign you up and get you that discount. Again, it has to happen all at the same time, which means if you do that now and in 6 months to a year, you add another company, that company will not be included in your multi-company discount program. So just hopefully I didn't make that more confusing than it needed to be, but you need to know that it's there. If you're in desktop and you're staying in desktop, they are going to keep it as subscription, annual subscription renewal, even in desktop, until the point in time which you've the 3 years is up that you have left. So again, if you're in 24, you have until 27 that Intuit will support your product. If you're in any other version, you have 3 years from that time. So 22 has till 25, 23 has until 26, 24 has until 27, which is why I suggest you make sure you upgrade to 24 if you plan on staying in desktop. So aesthetically, there are solves. You have the desktop app. We've gone over pricing. There are there's actually 4, but one of them is hardly useful for any actual business. But there's 4 different levels of subscription in QuickBooks Online: Simple Start, Essentials, Plus, and Advanced. I see most people going Plus and Advanced because of capacity, capability, functionality, users. Each individual subscription level has a different amount of users that comes with it. So Simple Start has just 1, and you can also invite your accounting professional for a total of 2. Actually, 2 accounting professionals for a total of 3. Essentials has 3 users and 2 accountant users, so that's 5 total. Plus has 5 users and 2 accountant users for 7 total, and Advanced has 25 users and 3 accounting professionals. So think tax preparer, CPA, accountant, right? That's kind of the idea behind that automatically. There is no buy more seats. There is no buy more users. You either upgrade to the next level if you don't have enough, or once you're in Advanced and you have more than 25 and you need more, that's where you actually might be a better fit in the desktop. I keep forgetting the freaking word. What is with me today on that word? The big one. The one that's not going away. Reference back to the beginning of this video because I can't remember right this second. Anyway, that's where you actually might be a better fit there, because if you need more than 25 users, you're a pretty massive company. And then, that might be the better solve for you. So that's how you're going to Enterprise. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. See, she's amazing. She doesn't, she's amazing. Enterprise. If you're needing more than 25 users, you probably should be an enterprise. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the pricing. The conversion literally takes, like I said, an hour or 2, maybe. So once you've gotten all your numbers in line and you know it's right, you then make the decision to bring it all over or just start from scratch, clean slate, and either one are possible. I do recommend getting assistance with that because it's worth your time, effort, and money to make sure it's not a mess and a poop show, if you know what I mean, because it's sensitive information. There's training available all over the place. QuickBooks Online actually has built-in training modules that you can take, and when you start using the product, it's going to have little pop-ups that say, you can do this here, and this is what this does, and click here to find out more. So actually, if you take your time to go through it, it will help you immensely understand and utilize it. Good. Lauren, I see your happy face. I'm happy too. Thank you for helping me. So anyway, that's like my spiel on converting. It's really not that bad. In fact, it can be an incredibly liberating experience to not be tied to the computer that your software is on. You can access it from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. You can go completely paperless with some of the tools that are built in. You can do full service payroll and get the taxes and all that off of your plate if you're not used to having that option available to you. the workflow, the app ecosystem that's out there. You can find some really time-saving tools with always time is money, whether it's allowing you to make more money because you have the freedom of time, or lower your payroll costs, or whatever it is, it's going to save you so much time, which equals so much money. So if you have any questions, please reach out. We are happy to help you. We do have a training that's coming up, it's not new, it's our bookkeeping boot camp that we hold every quarter through our consulting company. If you're interested in that, it starts next Monday. I know that's a little bit short notice, but again, we do it every single quarter. So there'll be another one coming up. Reach out, we can help you. That's a great place to learn for an incredibly low price tag on purpose, so that you do learn. And it doesn't stall you to get the education. So reach out if you need help with that, or if you have any other questions about converting and what you need to know. We're happy to help. Thank you for joining us. Our next mini masterclass is in 2 weeks. We are going to be joined by one of my incredible colleagues who's also an accountant council member. And we're going to talk about how to have a really healthy, good, happy relationship with your accounting professional, what you need to know, kind of like our story and our back end of like why we need you to do it this way. You can even bring your questions if you are not having a great experience or you want a different experience. Bring them along, we'll help you out. And that'll be in 2 weeks on Thursday, the 27th, I'm pretty sure, but it's the 4th Thursday of June. And we'll see you all then. If you're watching this on any other platform, please leave your comments. We do look out on all platforms for our comments and answer them. Have a great rest of your night and weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye. We do always watch out for comments on our replays. So if you're watching later and you have a question, please put it in the comments or leave us a DM, email us, any of the ways. All of our contact information is in our link tree that is in our profile. So any way you want to get a hold of us, you can. And we'll answer you. So please be, proactive in getting your questions answered, because we'd love to help, make this a very smooth transition for you. We do always watch out for comments on our replays. So if you're watching later and you have a question, please put it in the comments or leave us a DM, email us, any of the ways. All of our contact information is in our link tree that is in our profile. So any way you want to get a hold of us, you can, and we'll answer you. So please be, proactive in getting your questions answered, because we'd love to help, make this a very smooth transition for you. I talked about this a little in the masterclass, but we were early adopters of the online platform. We moved over in 2018. And that's long before it had any of the enhancements and all of the great things that they've added over, the last several years. So we've seen how it's gone from being a kind of a giant headache to actually awesome. It's all we use. We don't use any desktop anymore. We've been online for many years. So we're familiar with the fact that it didn't used to be great. And if that was the last time you looked into online, is several years back, do yourself a favor, revisit it, maybe go online, do some comparisons. We'd love to give you a demo. But it's so much better than it has ever been. And they're continuing to put tons and tons of time and resources into making it even better. I've had a lot of customers over the years tell me, my accountant, my tax preparer said QuickBooks Online sucks and doesn't do this and doesn't do that. I've had a lot of customers come to me and say that their bookkeeper says that QuickBooks Online isn't doing what they need it to do. It's not a good fit for us. I'm telling you that the truth of that is that the person on the other end didn't bother to educate themselves and actually learn the software. As I said in the mini masterclass, I've never once, since we've converted to being online only, had a customer whose books and business could not be run on online. It hasn't happened once. Now, that's my personal experience. There's probably others that it really wasn't the good fit, because there are some businesses still better suited for desktop. That's not untrue. But 9 times out of 10, when an accounting professional says QuickBooks Online sucks, it's because they haven't learned how to use it. I say that as a caution to you to not let other people's opinions and or feedback interfere with you making this choice. Because bottom line, within the next 3 years, you're going to have to make this choice. It's coming. Or you find a completely different platform that's not QuickBooks, and that is definitely one of your options. However, it can be that the person doing the job has not learned how to manage the books in QuickBooks Online. They're a creature of habit. They're used to one way of doing things. They're used to their systems and their workflows, and they're not willing to change either. So please keep that in mind before you let another person's opinion influence your decision. And obviously, always reach out if you have questions. We are happy to show you and answer those questions of if it can and if it will. So that's it from me. We hope you go back and watch the mini masterclass if you weren't able to join us live, or reach out, maybe tag a friend or someone who may need this because they're on QuickBooks Online, or they are talking about converting, or you just never know. It's funny how many times QuickBooks ends up being talked about in airports and dinner tables, and I hear it. I am always like, oh, they're talking about QuickBooks over there, So if you hear of anybody that's looking for help or challenges, tag them in our mini masterclass or reach out. We can also send you the link to our YouTube channel and you can pass it along there. Have a great weekend. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.